Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from 6th group. The name of members are Mifa Dita Damayanti, Sinta Lailatul Rahmah, Wasiul Mafirah, and Mafrukatul Kunaifa. We will present about the process of translation. The first is the relation of translating to translation theory. The purpose of this theory of translating is to be service to the translator. It is designed to be linked between translation theory and practice. The second is the approach. There are two approaches to translating. The first is you start translating sentence by sentence. For example, the first paragraph or chapter to get the feel and the feeling tone of the text. And then you deliberately sit back, review the position, and read the rest of the SL text. The second is you read the whole text 2 or 3 times and find the intention, register, tone, mark the difficult word and passage, and start translating only when you have taken your bearing. The third is the textual level. You transpose the FL grammar into TL equivalence, and you translate the lexical units into the sense that appears immediately appropriate in the context of the sentence. The fourth is the referential level. The referential goes hand in hand with the textual level. The referential level, where you mentally sort of the text based on the clarification of all linguistic difficulties, and where appropriate supplementary information.
Okay, I will continue to explain our material, the cohesive level. There are three cohesive levels. First is it follows the structure through the connective words. Conjunction, enumerations, reiterations, define article, general words, referential, synonyms, and punctuation marks, linking the sentence. The second one is the second cohesive level is mood. It can be seen as a dialectical factor moving between positive and negative, emotive and neutral, such as help and disaster, as well as adjective or qualities. The third level, you have to consider the length of paragraphs and sentences, the formulations of the title, and the tone of the conclusions. The level of naturalness. In translating any type of text, we have to sense naturalness for the purpose of producing, sometimes for the purpose of deviating of naturalness. In communicative translation, naturalness is essential when we are translating an informative text. The level of naturalness of natural usage is grammatical as well as lexical, and through appropriate sentence connective may extend to the entire text. Natural translations can be contrasted with causal language, where word order, syntactic structure, collocations, and word are predictable. The first is word order. In all languages, adverbs and adverbial are the most components mobile of a sentence, and their placing often indicates the degree of emphasis on what is the new information as well as naturalness. For the example like, the first is, he regularly sees me on Tuesday. It means the stress on regularly. The second one is, he sees me regularly on Tuesday. It means is no stress. Third is, on Tuesday he sees me regularly. It means is stressed on Tuesday. Second is the common structure can be made unnatural by silly one-to-one translation from any language. The third is cognate words. The fourth is the appropriateness of gerunds, infinitives, verb nouns. The establishment of the gerund is establishing. The establishment of the infinitive is to establish. Fifth is lexically, perhaps the most common symptoms of unnaturalness is slightly old-fashioned and idioms possibly originating in bilingual dictionaries.
Combining the four levels. When we translate with four levels more or less consciously in mind. The four levels are the textual, the referential, the cohesive, and the natural. Text becomes the first and the last level. The filter letting into the text only when necessary to complete the reader's understanding of the text, and then normally only within informative and vocative text. In the naturalness, the reality stage of translating, then accuracy becomes most important. Accuracy in translation lies normally within certain narrow range of word and structure, certain linguistic limits. It represents the maximum degree of correspondence referentially and pragmatically. The unit of translating. The signs of translation problems are: first, this automatic procedure from language to language without interjection of thought are not adequate. The second, how to make sense of difficult sentence. Our problem is normally how to make sense of a difficult sentence. Usually, you only have trouble with grammar in long complicated sentences. Grammar more versatile than lexis. The last is, others difficulties with grammar are usually due to the use of archaic, ambiguously placed or faulty structure. If long sentences and complicated structures are an essential part of the text and are characteristic of the author rather than of the norms of the short language, you should reproduce a corresponding deviation from the target language in your own version.
I'm Shinta Rohmah. I'd like to explain about the translation of lexis. The translation of lexis. Translating lexical is the main difficulties in translation, not the grammatical. There are some difficulties to translate words. The first, you don't understand the word. The second, you have difficulties to translate the word. The third, you don't know the possible translation. And the last, the word is different from its usual meaning. Remember, there are many common nouns have four types of meaning. First, physical or material. It is same as denotative. Second, figurative. It is same as connotative. The third, technical. It is same as jargons. And the last, colloquial. It is same as informal or colloquial. For example, physical, house. Figurative, family home. Technical, homemade and firm. And colloquial, first rate and tremendous. The last, the translation of proper names. How to translate proper names? First, the translators have to look for all of the proper names they do not know. For example, in geographical terms, in 1997, Hong Kong will be Xianggang. Second, be particularly careful of proper names in medical texts. For example, drug in one country will be marketed under another brand name in another, or it may merely be a chemical formula such as aspirins. The last, between translating and revision, the translator should not lose sight of the linguistic problems of the text, because all translation problems are finally problems of the target language. Thanks for your nice attention. Is there any questions? Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.